Hey guys, it's April from DCTV, and can we guess what I'm here to talk to you about today? If you guessed San Diego Comic-Con 2014, you are correct! And yes, I am El Solo today, just accompanied by my lovely poster. James decided to run off because he was thinking, things are a bit too nerdy here. The plight we nerds must face together. Now, to keep things kinda on the short side today, I'm gonna only be talking about 3 of the big panels that I happen to enjoy the most. But if one of these particular panels, has your fancy a little bit more than the others, you can actually click to where you want to go and it'll take you to where I start talking about it. Or you could just watch all 3 if that suits your fancy too. Totally up to you. Now, the first panel I was most excited for, if you couldn't tell, was the Marvel panel. This one happened on Saturday night, and it was in Hall H, the biggest auditorium on the whole Comic-Con front. And let me tell you, the news we got was pretty big for the most part. First, they had the Ant-Man cast come out, do a little Q&A kind of thing going on, showed some footage. That's great, but Ant-Man, not really my cup of tea. But, let's talk a little bit about Avengers Age of Ultron. Yeah. First of all, what a huge cast of just awesome people. You got your old school Avengers, but then we add James Spader, Aaron Taylor-Johnson, Lizzie Olsen, and Paul Bettany. Oh my god, that's a freak out in and of itself. So they did their little Q&A thing, was great. All of them, they're just perfect. Gotta love them. But then, the biggest part of the Marvel panel, I think anyways, had to have been the footage that was rolled. Now, I personally wasn't there to see this all. So unfortunate. But from what I had heard, the footage was fantastic. And I have heard the audio, and the audio sent chills up and down my spine. But anyways, that was clearly the highlight, and it tore the roof off of Hall H. It looks like we're getting a darker, creepier, so much more harrowing version in this next Avengers, and I literally cannot wait. Literally, I mean it. I cannot wait. Absolutely not. As we all know, we can look for that in May, so that's gonna be super exciting. Unfortunately though, it was a little kind of disappointing actually, but they didn't talk about any other movies aside from their ones happening in 2015. Now, I don't know if you guys are aware, but Marvel had just recently stated they have films planned until like 2019 or something, and they had been throwing out all of these dates. Nothing was mentioned at all at Comic-Con about these. So that was a little bit disappointing, but you roll with the punches. We did, however, get a couple of interesting announcements. The first was the director of Guardians of the Galaxy came out, and he had said they already had a date planned for Guardians of the Galaxy 2. James Gunn threw it up there on the screen, and they already had it planned. And the funny thing about it is it was before the first one had even come out in the US. Say that's pretty ballsy, wouldn't you? But on a side note, I've seen Guardians, and you really should go see it. Just go see it. Like, I'm serious. Rumors had been swirling about Josh Brolin being cast as Thanos, and he is. He came out wearing the Infinity Gauntlet. So that was kind of the gist of Marvel's whole panel. And all I've got to say to Marvel, let the footage out already. Just give it to us. The next kind of big competing panel to Marvel's had to have been the Warner Brothers one, mostly because DC was in it. However, in all honesty, DC made up like 2 seconds of their whole Warner Brothers panel. So to roll with the DC news, got some footage, and it leaked, and it was great. And after the footage they showed, basically their Wonder Woman, Superman, and Batman all came up on stage, made a surprise visit. Heyo! And from what I saw, I'd say, it'd be something I'd give a shot. But let's be real, where do y'all think my whole allegiance lies? But I was actually more interested in the Hobbit panel, which was fabulous by the way. You got Stephen Colbert moderating in costume. And then you got a huge long table full of awesome people, and they did a whole Q&A, which was absolutely perfect because the fans got to interact with them too. We did get a trailer too, which was so exciting! And the trailer brought us some awesome images and scenes and things, which was super cool. Their whole cast was just great, and they're talking about like elf shit sparkling. What? So basically, the Hobbit movie, it comes out and it's gonna be great. The Game of Thrones panel was also a pretty big panel, and that was absolutely fantastic. I love Game of Thrones. The cast is hysterical. So they did do a whole bunch of Q&A kind of thing going on. We got some great news as far as casting goes. They told us all about the new cast for the people out in Dorne. Oh my god. But if I could sum up the Game of Thrones panel in a couple words, it would have to be absolutely hilarious. Dire wolves are dragons. And then learning all about the new seasons. How awesome! Gotta love Game of Thrones. Can't wait for it to come back in March. I don't understand why it only airs from March until like June. Really? So guys, I hope you enjoyed me nerding out a lot. That was kind of my summary on San Diego Comic-Con 2014, and I cannot wait till the next one. If you like this video and want to see me geek out more in the future, make sure you give this video a like. James will be back joining me on Tuesday for another video, and we'll see you guys then. Bye!
Okay.
Am I right?
No. You can't see anything?
I got a pretty little flow.
He's got